What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back. So let's watch 7 weird WWE couples that actually existed in real life. Let's watch.
Brother. Ah,
Cute.
love. It is a many splendored
They are
thing.
adorable.
Love makes the world go round. My love don't cost a thing. And more often than not, wrestlers are finding love with other wrestlers, be it because they're so darn good looking,
Wow.
they're basically part of a traveling
They look
circus
good
and
too.
wouldn't be able to see any other prospective mates. At any rate, some couples are just like peanut butter and jelly, and others, they're more like peanut butter and tires. But hey, if they can make it work and are happy, who are we to judge?
Okay.
I'm Senior Siete for 7 Wrestling, and let's take a look at the 7 strangest WWE and wrestling couples. Now, before we get into this, we appreciate your support, so if you enjoy this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and double underhook powerbomb that notification bell. Also, Gordon Holmes, the guy who does all of my Senior Siete drawings, has released a graphic novel about professional wrestling. It's called The Bad Guy from Legacy Comics. It's a heartwarming tale of wrestling and marriage. We'd love for you to support him as he's done so much for us. You're going to love it. Great book. You'll find a link to purchase this graphic novel in the description below. Number 1, The Odd Couple. I believe Paula Abdul and MC Scat Cat said it best in their 1989 #1 hit single Opposites Attract. Things in common, there just ain't one. But when we get together, we have nothing but fun. Let's start off with Zelena Vega,
Zelena.
a fiery Latina who brings passion and intensity to performances. Over the years, she has gained prominence as a manager and in-ring talent, known for her charisma, high-flying offense, and mic skills. Outside of wrestling, Zelena Vega enjoys a variety of nerdy pursuits, including cosplay, gaming, and comic books. And when we say she likes her nerdy cosplay, we are not kidding. There's this, also this, and she dressed like this in Royal Rumble. Currently, she's known as a member of the Rey Mysterio Appreciation Society, the LWO, where she's feuding with various bad guys on the Raw brand. So naturally, her dream guy is tattooed, pale.
Oh, Zelena like her a little Chipotle bag. Okay, Zelena.
Dutch, a leader of badass goths.
Oh, okay.
Hey, c'est l'amour. Vega would describe it like this. I mean, initially, obviously, it was that physical attraction. I was like, wow, who's that? He's hot. But then it was getting to know you as a person and how cool you were and how funny you were and sweet you were. And then how much we had in common in video games and nerdy stuff. And that's when I was like, I want this one. She got what she wanted. Vega and Black were married on November 23rd, 2018. And of course, the groom wore black.
Nah, they look cute.
Number 2, Sunny Days. How different would the wrestling world be if Shawn Michaels had never uttered the word Sunny Days?
Here we go.
With that little quip, he set his feud with Bret Hart into overdrive that would indirectly result in one of the most controversial moments in professional wrestling history, the Montreal Screwjob. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with this moment, Michaels was poking fun at the idea that the married WWE superstar Bret Hart was having an affair with Tammy Sunny Sitch. To this day, both Sunny and Hart have denied ever having a romantic connection, and I believe him, because Bret Hart confessed to a variety of affairs in his book, so many affairs in his book, Hitman, My Real Life in the Cartoon World of Wrestling, and Sunny confessed to a variety of affairs in her book, A Star Shattered, The Rise and Fall of Wrestling Diva Tammy Sunny Sitch, but never with each other. So why did Shawn say it? Pretty much just to get under Bret's skin. And what's even weirder about the whole situation is that Shawn was the one who was fooling around with Sunny at the time. But that's not where the weirdness ends, because while Bret was the leader of the Hart Foundation, Sunny was having trysts with this guy. Probably not surprising. But not just him, also this guy. Yeah, Davey Boy Smith was giving Sunny the old power slam, which is surprising because Davey Boy's marriage was frequently a part of WWE programming. Davey Boy's wife Diana Hart was front and center when Davey faced Bret at SummerSlam '93. She escorted Team Hart to the ring during the Canadian Stampede pay-per-view, and get ready, she was even involved in an angle with Shawn and Davey where she accused the Heartbreak Kid of trying to put the moves on her. All the
I
while,
thought he was gonna say she was involved with somebody else.
Shawn and Davey did have relations with the same woman, it
Ugh.
just wasn't Diana. Gross? Gross. Let's move on? Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
Number 3, Buddy's Bells. Everybody has a type. Personally, your pal, old singer Siete, likes a girl with long brown hair, perfect smile, and like a well-fitted lucha mask. Hulk Hogan, yeah, he definitely has a type, and weirdly, they all look like his daughter. Well, actually, I take that back because Sable married this guy, and then went on to marry
What the hell, Little Richard?
this guy. So maybe not everybody has a type, but Buddy Matthews, 1/3 of the House of Black in AEW, he might not have a type. Just this summer, Buddy married the love of his life and arguably the most popular woman in WWE, the Eradicator Rhea Ripley. But this isn't the first time our Buddy was engaged. In fact, he was engaged to the almost exact opposite person. Rhea is tall, jacked, a Hot Topic enthusiast apparently, and his ex-fiancée is a short, petite Disney adult. That's right, Buddy Murphy was once engaged to the goddess Alexa Bliss, which we gotta say is wildly impressive. What is it? Is it the Australian accent? I could, yeah, good day, mate. Put another forget it.
Look, I don't blame him. Look, Rhea could fold me like a pretzel. Huh? I didn't say nothing. Let's continue. I didn't say that.
Different eras.
I didn't say that.
Now, this one isn't really weird because the people are different. They just seem to exist in different time periods inside of my brain. Lita was the darling of the Attitude Era. Vince McMahon was always going to promote the prototype
big boobs, blonde
yep. bombshell because that's what he liked. The original edgy, badass, cool as hell girl who worked at GameStop that we all worshipped was Lita. And you know WWE didn't get it because they originally wanted her to cover up her massive shoulder tattoo. But when she stopped hanging out with S.A. Rios and joined Team Extreme, we were all hooked. And yes, her career had some ups and downs and some really downs, like really down. Poor Lita. But we can't deny that in her era, she was the most popular woman on the roster until, well, you know. When she retired for the first time at Survivor Series 2006, she had earned a much-deserved break from the insanity. Interestingly enough, the last pay-per-view of her full-time career was the first pay-per-view of someone else's career, the voice of the voiceless, Mr. CM Punk. In fact, Punk's match immediately followed her retirement match. It was at this pay-per-view that newbie Punk would weirdly team up with his future hated real-life enemies, the Hardy Boys, and his future real-life hated enemy Triple H,
have a
along with Shawn Michaels, to wipe out the team of Rated RKO, Gregory Helms, Johnny Nitro, and Mike Knox. Yes, Shawn, Mike Knox was absolutely a part of their team. This bizarre quintet would beat their opponents in a clean sweep. So weirdly in my brain, it's like Lita and Punk were just ships passing in the night. It didn't make sense that they'd be a couple. It'd be like, you know, Missy Hyatt and Val Venus getting together, or I don't know, Dolph Ziggler and Sunny. Just kidding. Both of those hookups actually happened. Anyhow, 3 years later, the duo would start dating. Lita would even go so far as to get Punk's name tattooed on the inside of her lip, which, first of all, ouch. Second of all, we're just messing with you. She got that tattoo long before she ever started dating Punk.
Wow, the foreshadowing is
Number
crazy.
5. I'm sorry, what now? All right, confession time. The reason this list exists is because of a little news tidbit that came out a few weeks ago. During a recent episode of Rene Dupree's Cafe de Rene podcast, former WCW and ECW bombshell Missy Hyatt would admit to having a 2-year relationship with someone we couldn't fathom her having a relationship with. She'd say, honestly, me and Jim dated for a couple of years. About 2 years after his wife passed away, we dated for about 2 years. So yeah, I've rocked his world, and he's rocked my world. Jim, huh? Jim Duggan? No. Jim Neidhart?
Gross.
She was referring to none other than the legendary announcer, Jim Ross. This Jim Ross dated Missy Hyatt for 2 years and rocked her world. Wow. And if you think I'm going to make a slobber knocker joke, no, sir.
Ew, please don't.
Sir, I am too classy for that. Okay. You know, there's only a 12-year age difference between the two. I guess my brain automatically goes back to the early 90s in WCW where Missy was like, you know, a bikini bombshell. And Jim Ross was, you know, Jim Ross has just always seemed old to me. But hey, good for them. Rocked her world, he did. This guy, only a few years ago. Wow, we are learning so many things.
This is so shady.
Number 6, who's on Tiffy time? We are fully convinced that Tiffany Stratton is the future of the WWE's women's division. We've gone from the 4 horsewomen to the Rhea Bianca era, and it feels like Tiffany is the perfect choice to slot into that list of A-tier women's competitors. And maybe her gimmick is too good, she might play it too well, or is that just who she is? Her Instagram seems to hint that it might be. At any rate, she's perfect. Her snobby gimmick is fun. It's easy to hate. We will say, we always did like it at NXT when she debuted. They pushed that she was like a rich daddy's girl. You know, daddy says this, daddy says that. That portion of her persona we really enjoyed, but, you know, we can live without it. So we will admit that we were a little bit surprised when we learned that she was dating someone whose gimmick was the polar opposite of hers, none other than Gunther's right hand in Imperium, the no-nonsense technician,
I was surprised when I first heard
Kaiser. In an interview with Chris Van Vliet, Stratton would say, we kind of always knew of each other because we both were at the Performance Center. One day he was out and it was my birthday weekend, and we actually played rock, paper, scissors, and the loser had to ask the person on the date. So he lost and he had to ask me on the date. Does this remind anyone else of Todd Gack from Seinfeld, who would set up stupid bets with women that he'd intentionally lose, and the prize was a date? Freaking genius. Maybe we've been reading Ludwig wrong. Stratton would go on to say, he's a little goofball.
I don't know, just seeing him like this, because you know his character is just so different from what this picture is showing me. His smile, looks all happy, and then the character is just like, ugh.
That's all I'm going to say. This guy?
Exactly.
Goofball? Exactly. The one who hangs out with Gunther? Well, you know, honestly, Gunther didn't wear this getup, so maybe she's right.
That's so crazy.
Number 7.
He's probably so sweet and kind and nice, and he treats her like a princess. But the character, it just does not give that. That's what makes it so funny. Like her, too, because she is like, you know, kind of like that high maintenance princess. You know, the world revolves around me and all of that. And he probably does give her that treatment. So it's so crazy. It's cute, though.
Of couples.
Especially that picture with them out.
Okay, we'll admit that a lot of these couples fall into the MC Scat Cat Paul Abdul opposites attract category, but this one feels like the most opposite of all opposites. Terri Reynolds is probably best known for her run in WWE, where she portrayed Goldust director manager Marlena. She'd then go on to become the go-to person for lack of a better term, we're gonna say TNA segments, you know, wet t-shirt contests, cat fights, bra and panties matches, stink face matches, gross. Yeah, she was the go-to girl for when the WWE wanted to add a little bit of sexy sex to their programming. So naturally, she'd end up dating people to ever set foot inside of a wrestling ring. We're of course talking about the ECW star and former bounty hunter who has 4 justifiable homicides to his name. Talking about New Jack. Same guy who carved a 17-year-old wrestler who went by the name of Mass Transit like a friggin' jack-o'-lantern. Same guy who stabbed a wrestler named Hunter Lane 9 times in the match and was arrested afterwards. Yeah, the same guy. You know what? We're just going to cut it off right there. You get it. Just know that New Jack was horrifying. So, to see him in a 2-year relationship with the WWE's most prominent Lingerie pillow fighter was a bit of a shock. Well, there's our list. Did we forget any other odd wrestling couples? If so, please leave them in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed this, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and...
Alright, y'all, that's gonna do it for this reaction. Make sure to leave some likes and comments down below. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one.